Good morning, everybody on YouTube. This is Rick Thomas from Obsolete Video Services. Today, we are going to answer a question that I get many emails about from all walks of life. Every type of person you can imagine asks me this question. They just want some knowledge of this. Maybe they think they're doing something wrong, but it's not necessarily you're doing something wrong. It's just that let me just try to explain more about this. It's pretty simple, really. I get a lot of people who send me emails and the concerns about cables. All right, making custom cables, what type of cables to use. I have cables and I'm having problems and I don't know why. Okay, there's a lot of reasons in video production work why you need to do the best work you can, okay, or buy the best stuff you can. I know a lot of people out there want to do everything the cheap ass way. I just save money. I get it. But the cheap ass way isn't always the right way, and you end up paying double the price anyways. So if you ever hear the old saying, measure twice, cut once, well, this is measure once in video production Q&A and doing it the right way from the beginning, okay? I get a lot of people who ask me about video cables, custom cables, regular cables. When I make cables, what do I use? What do I prefer doing? Okay. Did you ever hear of, in electronics, you got gold and silver, right? They use that for all contacts, right? The best quality conductors, gold and silver. There's a reason why when they construct high quality video circuitry and they use gold and silver, because they know that other cheap elements won't hold up and the electronics will fail. This is why they design stuff with gold and silver. They know that is the best conductors to complete the circuits in electronics. Well, guys, pretty much that's starting to apply with video cables. And let me explain this to you. Okay, as you guys know, I got some cables laid out here. We got some RCAs. We got a BNC, we got SVHS, and of course we have the RCA video, common ones you see in the common market. All right, I get people who send me videos, sample videos, take a look at this video, why is it doing this, and blah, blah, blah. And half the time I'll explain to them the problem, and they'll fix it and do what I tell them to do, and next thing you know, their video is working perfectly. All right, here's the problem. If you have video equipment, SVHS machines, High 8 machines, Betamax machines, VCRs, whatever you're trying to do, even broadcast equipment, cables are very important. They're very expensive. I get that. You can't be cheap ass on this. If you want to get into this type of work and you want to use cheap cables thinking, it's good enough, it's going to work, you're going to find out you're wrong. It's not good enough and it's not going to work, and you're going to find out real quick for being cheap, for not doing, if you're going to do this type of work, doing it the whole 9 yards, okay? Here's the thing. If you got these common RCA video cables, these are complete shit, garbage, junk, whatever you want to call it, okay? The reason that is, not the past maybe 10 years or 13 years or maybe up to 15 years. China has been in Japan that makes this shit. Started, when VCRs were kind of winding down, they started making all these cheap ass cables. It's got a very fine wire into it. The ground and the shielding there's nothing there. It's so fine. It's not even funny. I mean, the wire. If you ever cut one of these open, take a look at it. Okay, the wiring is so fine. There's nothing there. It's crap. Okay, you'll get it to work for a little while, and next thing you know, you'll turn on your equipment and you'll get fuzzy video, or you'll get video, flagging or rolling or staticky or lots of noise. And 9 times out of 10, it's going to be these cables, especially if you're using this crap. This stuff comes out of China. They didn't want to start spending the money using high copper on these anymore because it's expensive. So they started making everything very cheap, very low end, with little fine hairline wire of copper in the middle of these, with no shielding. It's junk, and even the ends are crap. I mean, my God. I mean, these are not even, the ends of these things are the biggest piece of shit ever. I mean, they don't make good contact. They don't grip. It's just a fine piece of, cheap metal, wraparound metal that slides onto the connector. They get very loose and they don't even connect properly. I mean, it's just garbage. So if you're using these and saying, hey, I'm going to save a buck and I'll, knock out tapes, $10 at a pop, and I'm fine, right? Hey, everything's cool. And then one morning you come to work, hey, this shit looks like crap. I wonder why. It's because of this shit. This stuff is garbage. Don't buy this Japanese eBay shit. It's absolute garbage. You will pay the price. You'll be in the middle of a job, or you'll do a transfer of a tape and the customer will get it and they will come back at you and lash at you that it looks like crap. It's because of the cables. It's not necessarily the machine you're using or the whatever you're transferring from. It usually ends up being the cables. Garbage. Complete shit. Don't buy that stuff. Spend some money, people. I mean, don't be cheap. Spend some money. Okay? You spend money. You have to spend money in the business to make money in the business. Okay? I don't do anything cheap, half-ass in any way, shape, or form. I do everything state of the art. And it's the reason I do that is because I am not going to pay the price with this cheap-ass Japanese shit and have to end up redoing stuff and having customers not liking the quality of the work they get. All right? Now let's move over to production, quality, what Obsolete Video Services uses because it doesn't want to get screwed. This is what it uses. Okay. This is a BNC copper, BNC video or audio. You could use it either way. Okay. And also, too, when you're using connectors, which I'll grab a few of these, we don't do anything half-ass here, people. Okay. You just don't. All right. So sick of people and redoing people's work because they don't know what they're doing. Okay, when you get connectors, you get good ones. Go with the high quality gold connectors and the ones that are very high quality, high end. Pay the money for them. Okay, it's only going to benefit you in the long run if you don't. Okay, you want high quality connectors. Okay, that go on to these type of, like, especially on the BNCs, especially because sometimes you have a BNC connector, sometimes you have to go in an RCA or whatever. Buy high quality end connectors to connect to cables like these. Okay, well, this is a BNC video or audio cable. This is one of the highest low noise cables you can buy. Okay, and these are extremely high custom for extreme high data rates. Okay, they're very, very expensive. I have crates of these from a company I used to work with years ago, and I walked away with a whole crate of this type of wiring because the company went out of business. These are very expensive. This is solid copper wire through the middle of these and solid copper shielding windings on the end of these. This is seriously high-end shit. And when you take it to like an oscilloscope or, and you're checking it with like an oscilloscope and you check the ends of these, you'll see the noise level is virtually nothing. You connect an oscilloscope to wires like this, the noise level is through the roof. These things are garbage, okay? So then you come over here, okay, highly recommend monster cables. These are seriously gold dipped ends with solid wire and windings through the center of them. These are not junk. These are very good and very expensive. The monster cables are the ones you should use if you're using like RCAs or whatever. I would go with these. You can buy them on eBay, you can buy them anywhere, but you can pay a real premium price for them. These are the best commercial or consumer cables you can actually get for like VCRs and high 8s and all that kind of stuff. You want to go with the monster cable. Solid gold, dipped with solid copper windings and shielding. Very high. The noise level on an oscilloscope is very low on these. These are very good quality cables. So if you want to get RCAs, go with the monster cables. Pay the money for them. Okay. Now, if you're doing SVHS video, okay, and you're using the SVHS output, which there's still people that do, but there's a lot of people that don't. All right, it doesn't matter. Yeah, somewhat. It's the difference in SVHS and regular composite. It's not that big of a difference, but there is a difference, and people prefer using it. So if you're using SVHS, solid dipped gold, okay? These are gold dipped connectors, okay? Solid brass pins. And I've cut one of these open, and the wires are all straight copper with copper shielding. See how thick this cable is? Look how thick that is. This is a commercial grade SVHS cable. Do not buy those thin jobbers. They're garbage. You want to buy a commercial grade SVHS cable. You can tell usually by a very thick wire. It's copper dipped and I mean gold dipped and with copper pins on the ends. Okay? If you're going to do video production work, guys, I mean, come on, seriously. You got to spend the money, okay? I get people saying, you know, it's good enough, I use these. Okay, and then you come back to me, 6 months later saying, oh my God, I don't understand. My video equipment doesn't work. I can't capture. What's going on? I don't get it. It's usually because of that crap right there. All right? If you're a tech person and you work in a lab and you have oscilloscopes and all that stuff, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Because when you test these wires for end to end to see what the noise level is, you'll see thousands and thousands of problems with these. You get noise levels up the wazoo. Higher end, expensive stuff, well-built stuff, you got very low noise levels. The noise level in your video cables makes up the difference to how your equipment's gonna work, okay? Especially if you're going through time-based correctors, VCRs, or anything like that. But since I do broadcast equipment, guys, the answer is I use nothing but extremely expensive cables on the work that I do. I don't do anything half-assed or cheap. I want serious signal because I use scopes. I want to keep the noise level down and give you the highest video transfer possible. So I hope you guys kind of understand the little things about cables. You buy cheap, all right, you're going to pay the price. It's going to kick you in the ass. You buy cheap, it's going to be cheap. That's called Mickey Mouse. You do Mickey Mouse work, it comes back to you. That's not transfer work. That's not video production work. You do production work, you use expensive cables. This is what it's all about, guys. Maintaining the highest quality possible. Do not use this junk. Hope you guys enjoyed this video.